Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a Marvel Legends series review. So we'll be having a look at series 2. And we will start off with the Human Torch. So, again, this is one of the earlier figures of the Marvel Legends range. Now I believe, I'm not 100% sure, I believe that there is actually a variant of this figure, but it's not overly different. But I'm not 100% sure about that one. And you get some, obviously, sort of fire base there, and you've got the gold poster in the background. What do you think about this figure?
It's okay. I mean, you know, I don't think...
difficult to make a fire figure, isn't it? And kind of make it look particularly good.
Literally just get a normal character in and just pour it in petrol and set it on fire.
Well, I think the Sunfire figure that was done more recently was a lot better.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah,
I kind of like his face in this, I have to say, because it does look very comic booky, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if I
quite like the stand. I think that's okay. And yeah, he looks massively different on the back of there.
So again, with these early series, there wasn't a massive amount of characters.
Yeah. But yeah, overall it's an okay. In another review, we talked about a ripped shirt Hulk. He looks like he's stolen Action Man's shirt and ripped it up angrily.
We actually thought he was from Series 1, but he's actually from Series 2, and here he is. So that is why he wasn't mentioned in Series 1. So this isn't actually on the back of the packet, ironically. So they've got this, I guess you would call him a chase figure then in that case. But it's a different facial painting as well, so he's not got the sort of the black under the eyes. And, you know, here they actually use a cloth rather than kind of the sort of plastic they kind of used in the sort of the later figures.
Yeah, I mean, in the earlier figures, there was a lot more sort of cloth. I think there's a thing with a hat and
trench coat,
and that's a cloth thing. I suppose it makes it easier for them to kind of reuse the figure if they're not moulding shirts or you reuse the mould, I suppose. So as you can see,
Yeah,
cool. This is quite a good figure. I mean, actually, the paintwork and all that sort of stuff, and I quite like his chest. Looks good. All this detail along here. It can't be easy to clean the dirt out of your cracks when you're the Thing. Sit there with his penknife, picking out all the filth. I never thought about that before, but maybe that it would be an issue for him.
So this is obviously the one we were talking about in regards to the jacket and stuff. It's the variant of this figure, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which is a cool variant. They're relatively rare. Probably ought to purchase. But yeah, it's a good figure, and you probably can't really see his base very well, but it's like a kind of a New York sort of street with some rubbish on the floor and something in the background which says something to do with the... What was that?
Probably Yancey Street if it's the Thing.
Yeah.
There you go. So you notice that there's actually 3 figures in the on the range here, but they actually introduced another figure slightly after the initial run, which was Namor. So, and here he is. So he on some of the figures he's not actually on the back of the packet, but on later sort of releases he was.
Yeah.
But he's still a Series 2, so he's not actually a chase figure, but he wasn't on the initial launch.
He kind of looks like he's obviously been out sunning himself at the beach. He's got a nice tan. He's obviously got a good physique because he's at the beach all the time.
Chatting
up the chicks. Hey, dude.
It's got some reasonable shading on it, though, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, I think it has. I think he genuinely is a good figure. Yeah, it's nicely detailed. It's a little bit of water splash here.
He enjoys water sports.
He certainly does. And,
So yeah, you got the comic backing in that one
Which-
rather than the.
which is interesting because I think he's a more of a modern style because you can see the comic's an old comic. It's got the old Namor on there as well. So.
So yeah, so there if you have a look on the back, and I think it was on the one of the other figures. I think the Hulk one. It had some name on the back, but it's kind of the earlier figures. It only had the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And now it's got the 4.
And as you can see as well, the miniature poster was changed as well later on for the comic.
Cool. So, Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
So with removable mask, which was a bit of an interesting one. This because obviously, in a lot of stories, Victor Von Doom is horribly scarred, but here he is well and healthy. So I don't know.
He's had some. I mean, to be fair, the man's like genius. You'd think he'd be able to sort out his cosmetic surgery, wouldn't you? So
Yes, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know in later stories he kind of, regained his facial composure, but
I quite like his battlements or whatever they are there.
yeah.
This is in the older ones as well, which is missing Namor as well. And there you can see a closer bit of the wall mount there as well.
So was there a variant in this one, Matthew?
Well, actually, funny you should say that because there is. Doombot.
So I think this was quite clever as a variant. So obviously here you've got under the actual Doom mask, you've got just a robotic, almost like Terminator looking face here.
Yeah.
And serves as one of Doom's robots, or the Doombots as they're aptly known.
Yeah.
So in theory you could have a whole bunch of these and and serving the actual.
Go and fight G.I. Joe or something. So
So there you go.